So Justice League is finally here. It's finally here. The movie we've all been waiting for. Like, is it good? Is it bad? Does it follow in Wonder Woman's footsteps and actually do a positive movement for the DCEU? Or is it just like the other DCU stuff where it's either okay or just really not that great? But right now, I want to mention something to you guys that you may not know just about the movie though. This comic book right here, if you guys see it at an AMC and IMAX, you can get this free comic book, just so you guys know. It has to be this weekend though. And then also, stay through the credits if you go see this movie. There are 2 after credit scenes, and they are really good, especially the last one. The last one is totally worth sticking around for, so stick around and watch the credits. So, let's talk about Justice League. Alright, just in case you guys haven't seen my last video, I can't edit as of right now. So yeah, there's going to be some pauses or stutters, but I'm going to try my best not to do that. However, what Justice League is actually about is that it takes place right after Batman vs. Superman. And in case you haven't seen that movie, well, spoiler, but Superman dies at the end of that. And so the world is trying to recuperate from that. And since Superman's gone, this evil being comes in to try and take these cubes that's going to destroy the world if they all combine. So the Justice League has to unite with Batman, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, The Flash, and Aquaman. So, we finally got our Justice League. Does it pay off? Well, first off, I find it very satisfying just to see all these characters on screen together. Yes, we haven't seen individual movies for all of them, but which would have been nice, I admit. I mean, just having a background of them. But I really was pleased every time I saw them all on screen together. I'm like, this is our Justice League. This is our Justice League in live action form. So I found it very satisfying that way. However, let's dive into each of the individual characters. First off, Batman, played by Ben Affleck. You know, a lot of people like him as Batman. I like him, but he's not my favorite. I mean, I personally just feel like I need a standalone Batman film to actually really dive into his Batman, because he's always not the sole protagonist or main person of the movie. There's always someone else with it. And so I just want to dive into his Batman. And by that point, I think I'd be able to say, yeah, he's my Batman. He's cool. I really like him. But as of right now, I like him, but I don't love him. But I do think I prefer Ben Affleck in Justice League rather than Batman vs. Superman. Then there's Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman came off a great movie, and Gal Gadot is fantastic as Wonder Woman. I really love Wonder Woman, played by Gal Gadot. And is it just me, or is Gal Gadot more attractive now after being in the Wonder Woman movie? Maybe that's just me, but I have a feeling it's not. But, so, she's honestly probably the standout to me, because, I mean, I really liked Wonder Woman and Wonder Woman, so she already had that positive movement going, but she's my favorite character out of the Justice League. Alright, now we got the newbies. So, there's Aquaman. Aquaman, I thought was okay. I mean, I do really like Jason Momoa. I mean, he just looks like, just look at him. He looks like Aquaman. There's no doubt about it. However, at first he comes off like, okay, and like, alright. And then he gets better as the movie goes on, but it's just, there's not a whole lot of diving into his character. But another thing that I was really surprised about is that he doesn't use a whole lot of water in the movie. It's primarily his supernatural strength and then his trident, which I thought was an interesting angle. You just think, you know, it's Aquaman, so he's going to be throwing water around and maybe some fish in there, you never know. But no, it's not a whole lot of that, which I was surprised by. Then there's Cyborg, which is probably my favorite of the 3 newbies. Like, I don't know, I really liked him. I thought he was cast pretty well, and he was done really well in the movie. So, I mean, I really enjoyed Cyborg. I mean, I don't have a whole lot to say about him, but I do, again, wish that we dive more into his character beforehand, but you're going to hear that about all 3 of these characters. So, then there's The Flash, played by Ezra Miller. And by the way, Cyborg is played by Ray Fisher, in case you guys didn't know. But anyway, The Flash. The Flash, I wasn't a huge fan of. I really wasn't. I know some people really like The Flash because he brings this comedic aspect to the movie. So he's basically the comedic relief. But I really didn't find him all that funny. It's just, I don't know. Like, his jokes just seem like out of place and just poor timing or poor execution or something. I just didn't really care for Ezra Miller as The Flash. I may be in the minority there, but he just felt out of place to me. I would have preferred the movie to be more a serious or dark tone like the other ones have been, than have this comedic part of the movie here and there, and it's just like, yeah, all right, I guess. Now, granted, I do like some jokes in my movies, of course. However, I just felt like there was a little bit too much of them, and I mean, I found a majority of them not very funny. However, I will admit there were some that I did find very funny. Well, not very funny, but I found them funny. And then it wasn't just Ezra Miller; it was the rest of the cast as well. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of Ezra Miller, but I think a lot of people do. So I don't know. Another thing, I was surprised by how much J.K. Simmons wasn't in the movie. I figured he wasn't going to be in the movie a lot. I mean, it's about the Justice League. However, I really like J.K. Simmons. I was looking forward to seeing him as Commissioner Gordon. I wanted to see that. I really did. But he's only like 2 scenes, so I found that a little disappointing. But I mean, overall, yeah, I wish there was more background for Aquaman, the Flash, and Cyborg, and a little bit of the Commissioner Gordon. But I pretty much expected that going into the movie. Like, I expected just little bits of time for each of them starting off, and the movie's too short. It's only 2 hours long. That's how I knew, like, I wasn't walking in expecting this long backstory for each of these characters. That just wasn't gonna happen. It's 2 hours long. It needed to be like an extra 15 to 30 minutes longer in order to do that. And I wish it was that, but I expected not getting that walking in just because it's a 2 hour long movie. What are you gonna do? So I knew that wasn't gonna happen, but overall, I thought I was fine with it, just because they're basically trying to play catch up. I just wish they had movies beforehand actually building up to the Justice League. So overall, yeah, the beginning's a little rushed, but I was okay with that. I mean, I really was. I mean, I didn't walk into this theater having really high expectations. I know a lot of people were thinking this is going to be the best superhero movie ever. I mean, look who we got. We got them all. I mean, look at it. But I didn't walk in with that. Like, I was really nervous about this film, if I'm honest. Like, everything that's going on with production wise and how the DCU's been going, I was just like, I'm really nervous. I want this movie to be good. I really, really do. But I was scared walking into it. So I didn't have very high expectations walking in. And I think that came to my benefit, because I was walking in hoping for at least a 6 out of 9. Did I get that? Yeah, I did, as a matter of fact. But we'll get onto that more later. I've heard a lot of people complain about the CGI about this movie, especially with the villain Steppenwolf. I'm just like, yeah, it's not the greatest, but I don't think it's like so distracting. You're just like, oh, what is that? Like, oh, God, I can't even look at it. And I feel like that's how some people are acting. I'm just like, yeah, it's not the greatest, but I mean, it's doable. It's not that bad. Good Lord. It's like, it's fine. I mean, it doesn't need to be the best CGI you've ever seen. It's all right. It's not bad. It's okay. I mean, yes, there are some scenes where you can clearly tell people are standing in front of green screens, so that's a little bothersome there, but overall, I didn't have that big of a problem with the CGI. Yeah, it's not great, but it's okay. It's fine. It's only CGI. Okay, so then I do recommend checking this movie out in IMAX. I really do. I think it benefited my experience, to be honest. And also, when I walked out of the theater, I went to the bathroom, and a guy started talking to me, and he was talking to me about the movie, and he was like, you know, that movie, it's better than I expected, but it wasn't as good as I hoped. Which I feel like it's a very good way to put it, because I feel like that's how a lot of people are going to feel, and I completely understand that. Then there was another guy that walked up while me and that guy were talking, and he was like, that was definitely a great film. I'm like, you know, people are going to like this movie. There's no doubt about that. Then there's people that are not going to like this movie at all. This movie's got problems. I'm not blind or stupid. Yes, it's got problems. It really does. But me, myself, I was really entertained throughout this movie. Even though it's rushed, doesn't have the greatest looking CGI, doesn't have the greatest character building, I was really entertained. I just loved seeing these characters on the big screen. From beginning to end, I liked it. I really did. I was not expecting that. I was never really bored during the movie. And I mean, I go off my rating scale of not how good technically the film is. I go off entertainment. And I think that's what you should be going off of. I mean, who cares if it's like crappy this, crappy that? But if you're entertained, that's what you're going to the movie for. So, I mean, that's why I go off that on my rating scale. And so I really enjoyed this movie. Now, people are gonna, like, they're gonna have things that really bother them. And I understand that. There are things to be bothered about. But I'm not that person. Not at all. So, is Justice League my favorite DCU movie? Yeah, actually it is. Very surprisingly enough. I know most people are not going to agree with me. I completely understand that. Most people are going to say Wonder Woman. Completely understand that. Wonder Woman's a great movie. Really good. However, I found Wonder Woman kind of did drag in some parts. And, I mean, I don't know. Justice League, I was just entertained throughout the entire thing. And, not to mention, its action scenes, they're pretty good, especially two in particular. There's one towards the middle, which I won't say what it's about, and then there's one towards the end. Both of them really good and really satisfying. They are what I wanted to see. Really great action scenes. And in my personal opinion, I'm going to compare it to Thor Ragnarok, just because that's in theaters right now. I think Justice League has better action scenes than Thor Ragnarok. People may disagree with me on that, but I think it's better than Thor Ragnarok. Well, Justice League's action scenes. Let me rephrase that. However, Thor Ragnarok definitely has the comedy on its side. Justice League, not really, at least in my opinion. So, however, that brings to my question. Is this the best superhero movie of 2017? It's better than Wonder Woman. That's pretty good. All of these movies have been pretty good for superhero movies. I mean, there's been Spider-Man, Thor, Justice League, Guardians of the Galaxy, Logan, and Wonder Woman. 6 great, well, Justice League is going to be debatable for a lot of people, but 6 great action superhero movies. I mean, at least in my opinion, I really liked them all. However, is it my favorite? No. Personally, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is my favorite. I know a lot of people think it's too jokey, but I really enjoyed it. Is it my second favorite? It's debatable. Like, Thor Ragnarok is probably my second. Then it's going to be Justice League. Number 3, surprisingly enough. I really did like this movie. I was surprised by how much I liked it. Like I said, I'd walk into this movie with low expectations. If you walk in with really high expectations, you're going to walk out disappointed. A lot of people have, from what I can understand. So don't be that person. Don't expect it to be the greatest movie ever. Just don't do that. So I think that's everything that I wanted to cover. I'm really not 100% sure, but... Oh wait, I almost forgot. I haven't rated the movie. So, I'm going to give Justice League a 7 out of 9. It would be worth seeing at full ticket price, but I recommend IMAX, my personal opinion, because I think it was worth it. So, there you have it. You have my rating, you have my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think of this movie. Where does it rank on your DCEU movies? Do you think it's number 1, number 2? Do you think it's towards the bottom? I mean, there's only 5 of them. Some of them haven't been that great. Then, what do you think about for 2017 movies? I mean, they've been 6 really good movies. So, please let me know where it ranks on your list. And so, thank you all very much for watching this really long review. But there was a lot to talk about, let me tell you, especially when you have no editing. But thank you all very much for watching this. And if you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel to see more content like this. And remember, no movie is a perfect 10 out of 10. God bless you all.